So this is me with my dad in summer 2010, 4 days after we'd both been sliced open in side-by-side operating theatres, and one of his kidneys had been transplanted into my body in an operation that saved my life. When this photo was taken, I just had tubes removed from places I'd never imagined tubes going, including here in my neck. And even though I was coming down from an intense opiates high and had a 25-centimetre incision in my side, held together with about 25 thick metal staples, I'd never felt so energized, alive, or grateful. Everybody has their own stresses, worries, and struggles in life, and develops their own coping mechanisms. The challenge that I had with my health developed over many years, but impacted my life significantly. I eventually found a better way to deal with the challenges that I face in life. And it's my hope that by sharing my story with you today, it'll give you a fresh perspective on how you can deal with your biggest challenges head on. I knew I'd need a transplant for about 10 years before I received one, after I was diagnosed with a rare condition, renal hypoplasia, or shrinking kidneys. The main effect of this was that every single day my kidney function was deteriorating. And by the time I got my transplant, my kidneys were filtering toxins from my blood about 10% as well as they would if I had been healthy. So the main impact of kidney failure for me, other than eventual death, is chronic tiredness. So it was like being really badly jet-lagged all the time. Almost everything I put my mind to was secretly, silently sabotaged by my failing kidneys. But I decided to ignore this for as long as possible. I was always hardworking, and I refused to accept that this challenge would slow me down. In the 10 years between leaving school and receiving my transplant, I started 6 businesses in Ireland, the UK, the US, and Malaysia, one of which failed, one of which I sold, and 4 of which are running profitably today. I did this by pretending the problem wasn't real, by filling my days so that I never really had time to think about the seriousness of my condition, and by masking my constant exhaustion in the more socially acceptable guise of being a typical overworked technology entrepreneur. But it was unsustainable, and eventually and inevitably my strategy of long-term escapism failed, and I had to accept that I'd need to deal with this challenge. So looking back at how I focused for so many years on achieving career objectives over almost anything else, it made me want to find a healthier and more effective way to deal with whatever challenges I face. So what if I could accept the challenges that I face rather than hiding from them? And what if I could go further and actually embrace those challenges and reframe them so that they could help me improve whatever it is that I'm doing? I'd be like Pac-Man, eating a power pellet and then turning and chasing down my ghosts or problems, rather than constantly running away from them. So I started by looking at what I was doing when I was performing at my absolute best. And it came down to 3 things: being optimistic, being persistent, and consciously working to develop my resilience. So I remain optimistic by focusing on gratitude. So when you focus on gratitude, like I did after building it into my daily routine, it helps to make everything else in your life more positive and optimistic. So for me, it's coming home and my daughter running down the hall and grabbing onto my leg and giving me a big hug. Or the simplicity of going for a walk on the beach with the family and the dogs on a nice summer's day. And of course, for the amazing gift of my kidney. But I'm not talking about developing some kind of madcap spiritual optimism. I'm talking about developing a deep, genuine confidence in my ability to solve whatever challenge it is that I face. Then I develop my persistence by having a larger mission that I'm working towards. So I'm no astronaut yet, but I wrote down a plan for my mission. What mission am I on? So I wrote it down for 1, 3, and 10 years. What do I want to achieve professionally and personally? Then, if I'm not working on something that is contributing to that plan, I know that I should be. So it helps me to make sure that I'm working on something that is relevant and that I can connect to what I want to achieve. Then how do I build my resilience? I gamify the challenges that I come across. So we all gamify things every day. So standing in the supermarket checkout, I'm the only one who knows they're playing a game to see who can unload their items and pay for them faster, me or the guy over here, right? But either way, it's gamifying the challenges that I face. And it makes me want to solve the challenges by making it fun and engaging to win something or to beat this challenge. And over time, as I do that more often, it conditions me to be able to bounce back faster and handle the different setbacks and challenges that I have more easily. So this approach is something that anybody can take. Not everybody has a challenge like kidney failure, but you all have your own challenges, and you deal with them, and they impact your life in different ways. So ask yourself, what is your greatest challenge? How are you letting it impact on your attitude towards your ability to achieve your ambition? What are you hiding from, like I hid from my failing kidneys for so many years? So do something counterintuitive. Embrace that biggest fear. Harness that challenge to be something that empowers you rather than limits you. Thank you.